The Local Show, sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement, on News Radio 570 WSYR, on 106.9 FM, and live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. The Local Show features in-depth conversation with business owners, employees, and influential business leaders throughout Central New York, exploring their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in our growing community. The Local Show is produced locally by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back to The Local Show with Tom and Steve, except Tom escaped. So Tom had to run out and do some stuff, so you're stuck with me here. And Jeff Steigerwald from Steigerwald's. We are broadcasting from the Zoe Advertising Studios, which is sponsored by Victory in Motion, home of knee repair, not knee replacement. If you need a knee, call Dr. Petropoli at Victory in Motion. Jeff Steigerwald, Liehs and Steigerwald's, a fortress on the north side forever. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Steve. Appreciate you having me here.
Not a problem. So in 10,000 words or less, how does someone get into the meat business?
Well, I'm not sure how someone gets in, but I got in not by choice, but out of birth pretty much. So yeah, the business has been around since 36. It's been in my family since then. Third generation. Took over from my father about 20 years or so ago. My partner Chuck and I bought my father out back then, and we've been running it ever since.
So what did you do before that? Did you wander the planet sowing your wild oats, or what exactly happened? So you didn't go right into the business. You said, I'm going to do some things, and then came back in, or how'd that happen? Yeah,
that's pretty much it. I worked through high school and college in the business. My father was a big proponent of me going to college. Never really pushed me into the business as a career. So I got out of college, moved around the country a little bit, spent some time in Texas, spent some time in Michigan, and then made my way back to Syracuse. And I've been here now since 22 years, raised a family, and we're happy to be here, and we're super thankful for the support the community has given us thus far.
Yeah, I remember, so this would have been before you bought back into the business. In the late 80s, I lived on Oak Street, and first year married, 1987, we would walk up the top of, First North Street, go up, we would cut over, and we would, Oak Street, I had lived at Oak Street, and we were right there, and it was that classic old meat market feel. Doesn't feel like it's any different today when I walk in.
No, we pretty much, we haven't changed much. Certainly on the front end, we like you to come in and experience the way it's always been, and I think we've done a pretty good job of that, preserving that kind of charm of the old-fashioned butcher shop. And of course, all of our recipes dating back to 36 are still the same, so that's kind of exciting and always a unique, cool thing to have that tie back to my ancestry.
Yeah,
so.
I used to pick up sauerbraten from my grandfather, Schmitz, very German, and that was the thing. And it was always a little creepy because I never knew quite what was in that tub. It was meat, but there's moisture in there. I remember at the time I was not courageous enough.
Sure,
it's so good.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's one of my favorite authentic German meals.
Yeah. So you're a destination. People come, I'm imagining, from a variety of places to get there to buy your meat. Why do they go by 10 other places that sell meat and come to you?
Yeah, I'm not sure there's 10 other places.
Well, if you count every Wegmans and every grocery store,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I think that's an interesting point you bring up, because that's one of the challenges we have is people are, it's a fast-paced world. Convenience is key. So we strive to set ourselves apart by just having the highest quality, locally sourced products we can have. We pride ourselves on our customer service, so people want to come and talk to somebody and get some ideas and get some insight and hopefully learn something. It's worth taking the trip, and we see people from, like you said, all over different areas, and we couldn't be more thankful for that.
Right. Has technology changed anything? I mean, look at the different businesses. I mean, has that affected, or is everything the same as it was 50 years ago?
There's been some upgrades in equipment. Certainly, obviously, technology on equipment side helps things along. We still do a lot of stuff, the same way we always did it. A lot of things are still done by hand. And I think it's kind of funny that we're jotting down prices on a scrap of paper with a pencil, and then we're totaling it up, and so that's just the way I've always done it, and it just kind of fits and works for me.
Very good. So most people overcook pork. Change my mind.
There's no changing your mind. They do overcook pork. The problem is they don't need to overcook pork.
Let's talk about pork for a minute.
For sure. It's funny. We just got a delivery this week from our local beef guy, and we got talking about beef prices and how beef is going up a little bit here and there, and pork has kind of stayed steady. And it's interesting because you'd think people would gravitate more towards pork with the price discrepancy, but it doesn't seem to be happening. And he said the same thing. He said, it used to be you cook pork to 175 degrees because you're afraid of dying, and now, I mean, if you go past 148 degrees, all you're doing is drying it out. So.
Why? What changed? Why is that true?
Well, the trichinosis and the scare, that it's not around anymore. There's no fear of that stuff anymore. It's not there, and so. But I think if you were raised on it that way, it's kind of ingrained. But I mean, you come and get a locally sourced pork chop from us, and you cook that to 148. It's going to be juicy, tender, and absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I remember Mom would have pork chops when we were kids, and it was like. Oh, they were awful. Good.
Yeah.
They were gray. And my mom's a good cook, but you cooked it. It was in the oven. I remember she cooked it on a cookie sheet, and it had that gray. And if there was any juice in it, they made sure it was gone because that might carry disease.
Sure.
I don't know why it was terrible.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Right. Well, it had the same. It's kind of. I guess it's the way chicken is now. I mean, you do need to cook chicken to 165 degrees, but the pork. It's no longer an issue. In fact, if you go into a restaurant, one of the higher end restaurants, they'll even ask you how you want your pork cooked. So, it's just the way it is. It's changed completely, and you should embrace pork because it's a delicious product.
What's your favorite cut of meat? Like, hey, we're doing something this weekend. What does Jeff pull out and eat?
I think it changes here and there, and I go through phases, and I think I've always thought, I'm the guy that will grill out during the winter months. Doesn't matter. And then this winter, I decided to bring a ribeye home, and I cooked it in a cast iron pan, and that became one of my new favorite go-tos.
Right.
You just throw a little olive oil in there, you season it up, and drop it in there for 4 minutes on a side. Throw it, and finish it in the oven. It comes out just fantastic. So, so that's my go-to as of late.
Yeah, I know you're known for brats, and I love your brats. Yes. Absolutely love your brats, and you make different kinds and have different flavors and choices.
Yep.
What is a brat?
Brat is just it's a fancy, well, not fancy name. It's a German name for sausage. That's all it is. And so, like the traditional German smoked bratwurst is just a pork sausage. It's mildly seasoned and smoked. It's great with sauerkraut. I throw it on the grill.
Right.
Sauerkraut and brown mustard comes out fantastic. And then during the summer, one of my favorite things to go to is our hot dogs too. I love our hot dogs.
And your hot dogs have got all good stuff in them. I remember you saying that before. Briefly, tell me
Correct.
why.
No fillers, no additives. We don't put any preservatives in any of our stuff.
No scary body parts.
No, nothing but primal cuts of meat go in there. You're gonna, yesterday's burger becomes tomorrow's hot dog.
Yeah. So Steigerwald's, Liehs and Steigerwald's. Grant Boulevard, right near the Butternut Circle there. If you haven't been there, oh my gosh, the meat is so good. You made me hungry. I'm going to have to stop out. I walk in there and walk out with more meat and less money in my pocket, but it's worth it.
Yes.
Really, really good stuff. Thanks for joining us today.